as we said, we were examining an age range of between 14 and 16. And I guess one of the starting points is where 13 is a notional entry point for a lot of these platforms, how much would 14 lift the dial, how much would 15 actually change the dial when it comes to those harms. There was a body of evidence presented from the UK about particular children's mental development around that time. So all this actually helped to inform the position that we arrived on, and I'm pleased that National Cabinet sees the same.
Trudy?
Prime Minister, the opposition was seeking clarity on whether some of the big platforms will get exemptions, TikTok, Snapchat and Instagram. Can you confirm today they won't be exempt from this?
They won't be exempt. They're in a range which is called age-restricted services as defined under the legislation. Just as alcohol is an age-restricted product, these are age-restricted services. The exemptions framework operates on this basis, and it was pleasing to see National Cabinet understood and endorsed this. We need to make sure that young people still have access to educational, to health needs, noting that a number of mental health services, for example, actually operate like platforms. So we want to make sure that young people can still access those. What would be a probable candidate to be considered under an exemptions framework, for example, is something like YouTube Kids, whereas, as I described yesterday, YouTube is likely to fall within that scope of age-restricted services. YouTube Kids is a different product, but of course it would need to be balanced against a set of criteria. And I would point out that the instruments to enable e-safety to make those decisions, they would be disallowable instruments, so would actually be subject to review by the Parliament. But let's be very clear here, there is no out for the platforms here. We're being very clear that there are age-restricted services, and those commonly understood platforms like TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook, they will all be age-restricted services.